The Miami Heat lose again to the Brooklyn Nets at home, 109-105. The Miami Heat have now lost 3 games in a row. They are now 1-4 overall. They are dead last in the Eastern Conference rankings. They are 15th, and they have the second worst record in the entire NBA. The Houston Rockets, technically at 1-3, have a better record. The only team that has a worse record than the Heat so far are the Memphis Grizzlies, who are 0-5, and we know the Grizzlies are missing Ja Morant to an extended suspension. So I guess they have somewhat of an excuse, but the Miami Heat are just playing poor basketball. This was the worst loss of the season for them. They lost to the Nets not only at home, but to a shorthanded Nets. So Claxton was out, Dennis Smith Jr. was out, Spencer Dinwiddie was out, Cam Johnson was out. So they had a lot of their depth and good players out tonight, and they were still able to pull off this victory against the Heat. The Heat were up 16 points with 4 minutes to go in the third quarter, and to begin the fourth quarter, the Heat were up 8 points and quickly blew that lead as the Nets kept hitting a barrage of three-pointers to keep them in the game and to ultimately help them gain that lead in the fourth quarter, which they never lost once they gained it. So the Nets shot really well from three. They shot 44% overall, 16 for 36. So at the beginning, when the Heat were up 10 at halftime, and then pretty much for the entire third quarter, they were up above double digits until the very end, where the Nets ultimately went on a run that they were able to sustain into the fourth quarter. They were hitting timely threes anytime they were down 13, 14, 16. So they were able to hit these clutch threes to keep them in the game, and that disallowed the Heat to go up by 20, 23, 25 points, etc. So that was huge for the Nets. The Nets shot better than us overall from the field. They were 45%, we were 42. Again, from three, they were 44, we were 34. We went 13 for 38. Free throws, they shot more free throws than us, so they were more aggressive, got to the line 26 times to our 18. They out-rebounded us just by 1. And turnovers, they actually had more turnovers than the Miami Heat. They both were horrible in that category. The Nets had 18 turnovers, and the Heat had 16. We actually had more points in the paint as well, 44 to 40. But nonetheless, this was just a devastating loss for the Miami Heat. Their offense looks pretty bad, pretty stagnant, and Jimmy doesn't look fully right. I know there was a report about him having tendonitis. It looked like he tried a little bit harder this game, but it also looked like he didn't give a shit. He played fine. Bam played fine. Tyler played fine. The rest of the Heat players didn't really play that great, but Jimmy just looks off, and he looks like regular season Jimmy that doesn't care, even though at the end of the game, during an interview, he said that we need to make things right now, obviously, since the Heat are 1-4 and last place in the East. But he did fine, I guess. He had 20 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists in 35 minutes of play. So he wasn't bad, but he just didn't seem aggressive. He was playing lackadaisical. He only shot 16 field goals. So he was 7 for 16, so a little more efficient compared to the other games, but he's been really inefficient and hasn't had really many good games. He's played in 4 out of the 5, so he has missed 1 game. So Bam played really well. He's been our best player this season so far, and he's been slightly more aggressive here and there. I think we needed him to be more aggressive this game, but he shot 8 from 12 from the field. He had 21 points, 14 rebounds, finally picked up on that end. 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. He did have 4 turnovers, which isn't great, but he was 5 for 5 from the line. He played great on both ends of the floor. Tyler Hero continues to score a lot, but we continue to lose when he does that. So he had 30 points, 5 assists, 3 boards. Pretty efficient shooting, which was a good sign. He was 6 for 10 from 3, which is awesome. He only got to the free throw line once, missed that, and he was 12 for 23 overall. So efficient game for Tyler, but it still didn't matter, which is unfortunate. Kyle Lowry, 30 minutes, had 6 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. We solely need help, I would say, at the point guard position. We obviously need help in other areas, but we need to make a change. Kyle Lowry needs to be coming off the bench and not starting. That's a spot where we need a floor general who could set up folks, so it's not just Jimmy pounding the ball or Tyler Hero just playing off the pick and roll. So we need a floor general, and so hopefully we can address that need before the trade deadline. Jay Rich did not play well. He only had 4 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, but he was 1 for 9 from the field, 1 for 5 from 3. Hawkes, he's a rook, so that's okay. He was 1 for 9, 0 for 6 from 3. He only had 2 points, 4 rebounds and assists, but he was active on the defensive end with a couple steals and a block. So I think Jaime is going to be okay. He's a rookie. There's going to be some growing pains. Duncan played bad also, 2 for 8, 1 for 6 from 3. Not great. Thomas Bryant played 15 minutes. He was 3 for 4, 8 points, 5 boards. He did fine. Haywood Highsmith came back, and this was his first game of the season, so we really missed him. So he had a good game as well outside of our big three. He had 9 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 huge block, and a steal. One where we did a challenge, coach's challenge, to overturn a foul call when he blocked the shit out of Finney Smith, whatever the hell his name is. He was 3 for 5 from the field, but 3 for 4 from 3. So Haywood, welcome addition. But either way, the Miami Heat are just playing like trash this season. The fourth quarter is now the new third quarter. They've been outscored in every single fourth quarter this season, which has been pathetic. They are outscored by 12 in that fourth quarter. Their offense just becomes stagnant and predictable, where it's going to be Jimmy Butler pounding the rock, getting into the mid-range, and he's going to be taking a turnaround jumper or fadeaway, where it's Tyler Hero coming off a screen where he's going to either pull up or he's going to attack and penetrate and then try to dish to a wing player. So we're relying a lot on Tyler Hero. And so this offense with him and Jimmy on the floor, they're just taking turns essentially. So they're not a good fit. He's never been a good fit as our third player. So it's been tough to watch, man. The Heat are so predictable and they're not able to sustain any of these leads. This is the second time where they've blown a lead late in a game. Luckily, the first game of the season, Cade Cunningham didn't hit that 3 to win, because otherwise the Heat would be 0-5 to start the season, which would have been horrible. So in terms of scoring, again, that's like one of our biggest issues. Points per game, we're 27th in the league at 104. So that's not good. We are, let's see, in terms of offensive rating, the Miami Heat are 24th in the league. So one of the worst offenses. Defensive rating, this is what hurts. The Heat are 17th to start off the season. Usually they're a top 10 team, top 5 team, rely on our defense, and we are struggling on both ends, which isn't great, obviously. So tough start to the year. We play against the Wizards at home on Friday. This will be the first in-season tournament game. I don't give a shit about the in-season tournament, quite frankly. I think it's kind of stupid. But if the Heat go 1-5 and lose at home to this Hornets team, who they lost to twice, by the way, last season, then I think it's time to panic. I don't want to panic right now, but I'm frustrated, obviously, just like other Heat fans. And so I think it's time to panic if we lose at home to the Hornets. Because then on Monday, we get the Lakers at home, which is not going to be an easy out. That's going to be a tough game. And we have one more home game, and then we go on the road again for an extended period of time. So it's not looking great right now. Jimmy needs to step up. I know we're missing Caleb, and we've missed Haywood and a few other players. Bam's missed a game, Jimmy's missed a game, but still, there's no excuses to lose some of these games that we've lost. We haven't been dominant in any game. We've been in clutch games for any of the games that we've been in. Outside of like the Milwaukee game, I think we've been in a clutch game every game so far this season, which is again torture and frustration, where we just simply can't blow out a team or sustain a lead. I don't understand why also we're not playing Jovic. Like, we weren't willing to trade him and others for Damian Lillard. And if that was the case, why are we not playing him? Like, why are, like, our offense is stale. Like, we're starting, Kevin Love is hurt, he didn't play, but we're playing Kevin Love and Kyle Lowry, like, for what? Like, at what point do we need to make that change and give Jovic an opportunity and also sign someone? Because Josh Richardson is not as good as he was when he first was on the Miami Heat. He's not the solution as a backup point guard or combo guard, whatever he is. So we definitely need a new starting point guard. We need Kyle Lowry to be coming off the bench. We need Kevin Love to fine. He could start. I don't mind him playing, but he needs to play less. And we need Jovic in there next to Bam. And we need to give him the opportunity to develop. Like, he looked good against the Bucks on Monday when we were blown out, and we brought him in, and Hawkes and Tyler and Josh were able to bring us back. And he looked comfortable and good. He was able to play make a little bit. I know he's not the best with his passing right now. He gets caught up in the air sometimes and, is turnover prone, but he's young. He's 21 years old. Like, he's just getting his first experience healthy in the NBA. And he only played last year because of injuries. Like, he was not in the rotation whatsoever. This year we thought he would be, and I think he needs to be. I think we need to give him an opportunity. But even doing that doesn't mean shit. That's not going to solve the Miami Heat's problem right now. I don't know if Caleb Martin is. I don't know if there's anybody on the bench that could step up. It's got to be within Jimmy, Bam, and Tyler to figure it out until we make some sort of trade and get Kyle Lowry off this team. And I don't know what will be available. Will Zach LaVine be the fix? Like, is he going to be available? Is a DeRozan going to be available? Who knows? We'll see, but we need to infuse some sort of change and talent into this offense, because again, we're stagnant and we aren't great when it comes to scoring. As you can see, we're 27th in the league. So I'm frustrated. Not a fun game to watch. This season's been rough. It's been rough that we weren't able to get Dame, even though the Bucks have lost a few games. But either way, it's the regular season. They're trying to develop chemistry, and I think they'll be fine. They're 2 top 75 players on that team, 2 All-Stars, 1 MVP, 1 Finals MVP. I think the Bucks will ultimately be fine with that roster. It just hurts. It just hurts watching this team. And if we don't win on Friday, I'm going to be super pissed. So thanks for watching, guys. If you guys can, hit the subscribe button and subscribe to the channel. I'm on my path to 400 subscribers. So it would mean a lot if you could hit the subscribe button. So thanks again. I'll talk to you guys soon.